Hello. Welcome everyone. Thank you very much, especially for someone leaving another stream for this. I'm not sure it's that good. This is like, it's mainly a test. So before I do anything, could one of you confirm in each of the two chats that my sound is working? Is my sound working? Is it too loud? Is it too quiet? Is it fine? Good in YouTube. Nice. Could any one of you try Twitch for me? I don't really have any viewers there because this is the first ever test doing that, so I'm not sure if it's working over. Oh yeah, there's someone. Thank you very much. Nice. Finally. Because that was a big issue in the first streams. Okay, give me one more second to set this up. Down to German. I tried to reduce the German dial, but it's not always working. All right, there we go. So, before I start doing any Ironclad stuff, just some explanation what I'm doing. I mean, yeah, the title basically says that I want to build the Ironclad before Invictus main. Not the whole thing, obviously, but basically I want to give the Ironclad the Galaxy treatment. I'm not sure I can get... No, actually, I'm entirely sure I cannot get a video for the Ironclad that is the quality of the Galaxy video for this Invictus, because that's in like 4.5 weeks. But I'll try to have something and mainly like give you an early look how the interior looks. If the Ironclad is shown at Invictus, then basically this project ends right there. But I'm currently hoping it's not, even though, I'll keep the speculation short for now. My best guess was so far that the Perseus is coming this Invictus and then the Ironclad this IAE. But it looks like the Perseus might not be coming, and this might mean that the Ironclad is coming. But maybe we're only getting the tag this Invictus, and, well, I actually hope that, because then I have another 6 months at least to build this Ironclad fully. Like, I want to make it prettier than the Galaxy was, and obviously as complete as I can. I'm not sure if I can complete anything because there's not information for anything, but well, as much as I can. That obviously, I'll have to say that now, that will be like a very quiet series of streams because I can't work and talk as perfectly as other creators can. But I'm obviously trying to get something done, and then obviously I have to do some work in between streams because I already know that I only work at like 10% speed if I have to talk at the same time. But that's my point. I'm not going to talk all the time because this is not really a entertainment stream, but rather like that. Plenty of people asked me how I'm doing stuff and wanted to have a look over my shoulder when I start the next project, so I thought this is the perfect opportunity to just show you what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and if that is interesting to people, I can always explain stuff. Maybe that is interesting, but it's not going to be a full... I'm not going to talk the whole time, basically. I'm not sure how often I'm going to do it. We'll see how much fun it is. I'm not going to do it very long today because, as I said, it's a test stream. And today I'm not going to really start the interior. Today I'm going to focus on the exterior, but we get to that in a second. Let me have a look at the chat. That is one of my biggest weaknesses. I have a lot of trouble dealing the scene, the chat, and the talking at the time. I can do one thing. 2 is already a struggle, and 3 is the hardest. So I can always build the Endeavor. Yeah, right. I have time for that, but for now, I think the Ironclad is... at one point I said I'm going to do the Perseus next, but the Perseus is so close already, and the Polaris is already out, so I think the Ironclad is the most interesting because it's so different from the Galaxy. Oh, and by the way, your Galaxy will be kind of outdated since they have to rework it so the base building module drones works. Interesting point. I don't think that my Galaxy will be outdated. I'm pretty sure that they won't do... I'm sure they won't put the base building module on top. As far as I understood, the issue with the Galaxy is that they have not planned for drones starting from the bottom, only from the sides and from the top. And while on the Galaxy it would be on the bottom. But I think they will find a workaround for that and have them start from the bottom, even though that is a little extra work they wanted to avoid. I think that's more likely than redesigning the whole Galaxy, to be honest. But, I mean, no one knows. They could also... Actually, I've never thought about it. Maybe they do open it up on the sides to have the drones exit, but that would obviously mess with the modularity. Alright, I'm already switching topics. Sorry about that. Let's talk about the Ironclad now. For that I have to leave my room for a second. And whenever I do that, I have to put you on the pause screen for another second. Oh, you have a colleague who works and CIG, what? Works and CIG and works on RSI ships, and he told us, ooh, if you have inside information about the Galaxy, you're always welcome to message me on Discord. I don't really need people to leak stuff to me, but anything regarding the Galaxy is obviously kind of interesting for me, and I try to, on the one hand, be careful with such information, but at the same time, maybe I can do things with my Galaxy videos to show, well, not show stuff that is coming, but I mean, usually with my Galaxy videos, I only show things how I imagine them to look like, and maybe I can do that. My Discord is the same as my username here. It's pretty easy to find. Alright. Ironclad, everyone. I know that a lot of people are excited for this thing. And so what you see here is obviously the HoloViewer model. I have not built that already. This is the official HoloViewer model, and it is quite good. The quality of the HoloViewer models varies a lot from ship to ship. A lot of the recent ones are very clean and you can do a lot with them, but they're obviously not good enough for, well, cinematics or something like that. But it's a very good starting point for me. Anyway, I'm more interested about the interior, obviously, for my tour, and also because the interior I can then again share with you. Like I have shared this interactive Galaxy scene and also my room for my supporters. I'm going to do the very same with the Ironclad, but I can't show the I can't share this exterior. So today I'm going to work on this a little bit, give it some texture, give it some colors. And then in the future, I try to touch this as little as possible because I can't share it with you other than on the stream. So I have to build some of the exterior myself, because I obviously want my scene and my Patreon scene to have these places where you kind of walk outside, and that means I have to build some parts of this, but mostly on the series I want to try to focus on the interior. And even though I said I'm not going to do that today, I have already started, no, actually I have pretty much finished aligning the camera. I always in my videos explain that I align the camera of these concept images perfectly, or as perfectly as I can, to my model, to the HoloViewer model. And I have done that here. Let me just check that it's the right one. 49. Here you can see their image aligning with my geometry. And as you can see, it's not 100% perfect yet, but it's pretty, I would say I'm at 98%. I really have to get it to 99 or 100 on this one, because on the others, even on the Galaxy, but I did the same for the, what is it? The Anvil Paladin. And since that chip is so small, if I'm off by like 5%, no one cares. It's just a few millimeters or centimeters. Here, if I'm off by just a tiny bit, then it's already like half a meter. So I have to be very, very, very close with this alignment. And once I have this alignment absolutely perfect, and I will have that very soon, I can then swap out the image for this one, which is again exactly matched to the other one. And that means I can use this to very, very accurately build the whole interior. That's not everything though. I have also, I can't show you that today, but I have also, I've taken the Inside Star Citizen episode we have on the Ironclad. And as you know, there's a lot of scenes where they showed the interior, the model, and it's in a pretty good state already. And yeah, but it's a video. So I have used something called photogrammetry, if you know what that is, to basically get a 3D model out of those image sequences. And that did not get me the whole ship, but it gave me some of the interior spaces as 3D models. They are honestly pretty terrible, like quality-wise, but they give me a very, very good estimate about where rooms are and how they connect and everything. And it's a very good additional resource to this, to have blockings for all the rooms that then in the end should be pretty accurate to the whole thing. Ironclad by DefenseCon. I fear that that might happen, because it was already so far along the last time we saw it. It was really far along. But I honestly hope they only show the exterior, because otherwise, yeah, this is where this series will stop. They have to increase the room size for the Ironclad to fit in the Drake room. Or they put it on the outside. They had the Kraken outside. I'm not sure if you were able to tour it back then, but they had that standing outside because it was so big. Maybe they do the same for this one. I'm not sure. Are the HoloViewer models the same scale as the in-game ships? Yes, they are. There are some exceptions where they did it wrong, but generally they are very, 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 very accurate. So for this one, the last time I checked on the website, it was 120 meters, and I measured it to be 113, but I was measuring without these antennas. So usually with these, either they are perfectly correct or they are completely off. So they obviously took the time to scale this correctly, and I think if they measured from this here, then it's 120 meters exactly, pretty much exactly. I would love you to do the Liberator like this as well. Oh man, I have so many ships that I have to do and that people like me to do. And the Liberator was mentioned a few times already, but Ironclad first. Hello to Taipei. Oh, actually, I have viewers from Taipei. That's so amazing. Isn't the Ironclad the same length as the Caterpillar? Well, what length is the Caterpillar? They had the Polaris in the showroom, that's true, but that was the big convention showroom, not the Drake showroom. I think he was saying that the Drake showroom is smaller than the big, well, hall. I'm not going to do the Perseus because the Perseus is coming out very soon, I think. I have to leave you for 20 seconds, and then we're going to actually start. Thank you for your patience. Oh, the Caterpillar is 122? I didn't know that. So they are actually the same length. That's actually interesting. I thought it was bigger. The Ironclad was bigger. I have to admit, after seeing the first model from the scan I just talked about, I was surprised how much space there is on the interior, how many rooms. I already fear that I might have taken a little too much work here, but we'll see. 112? 122? Your opinions are different, apparently. Let me check. Caterpillar. Caterpillar is 111.5 meters. And the Ironclad is 120. Okay, so the Ironclad is a touch longer. Guardian, hey, nice to see you. Would love to be able to play with the cargo bay to see what ships could fit. You mean me in this scene right now? Or you want the scene? You want the model? I'm going to do that. I'm not going to do it today because I have not built the interior. That's what we're going to do on the next one. But the cargo bay will absolutely be the first thing I'm going to build because, yeah, that's obviously for most people the most interesting questions, what we can fit in there. That's what I'm going to do next, like first real official stream. Actually, before we start, if you want, I can get the Caterpillar around somewhere. Kraken. No, you don't want to see the Kraken. You don't care about the Kraken. Oh, unfortunately, I only have the in-game model, which is pretty cool, but that might take a few seconds to load. Let's do that though. Now I want to compare them myself. It's loading. Still loading. Loading and crashing. No, it's not going to crash. Oh, there we go. I have a controller somewhere. There we go. That's my controller. No, it's not. Oh, this is not set up for streaming. I have to move the Ironclad. As far as I know, StuffUp is still not working. This is an old export. I was told it's going to be fixed super soon, but I was told the same not too like a few months ago, unfortunately. How many caterpillars wide is it? We'll see in a second. It's currently trying to load in all the caterpillar textures. That was a mistake, maybe. So, it is actually one. I would say it's almost 4 cats wide. Definitely more than 3. Usually I would copy the cat, but I'm not going to do that because the model is so high. I'm going to make a cube for the cat. On its widest point, to be fair. So it's 2, 3, 3 and a bit. 3 and a quarter cats wide. That's quite a bit. And it's also quite a bit thicker. Again, maybe 1.5 times. And then on the bridge it's, well, more than double the size of the front of the cat. It looks really small compared. But no, honestly, this is what I expected it to be. How big. Really is a fatter pillar. Can you do instances of the cat? I could, but why? Only to see how... I mean, that was a pretty accurate guess, right? Let's get that cat out of here. Does the command module sync? No, absolutely not. The new one is a lot bigger. I have already compared those for my silhouette video. I haven't shown it, but when I looked at them, it is quite a bit longer. And other than that, it looks like the front is the same, but in the back they added some new elements, or maybe just scaled it. It's hard to say because one is obviously the in-game model with a lot more detail, and one is just this blocky hollow view model. But it's longer. They said not. Oh, they actually said it's not the same, but interchangeable. I don't remember that. I thought they said it's going to be reworked, and so I thought they said it's not the same right now. It's going to be reworked, and then the new one is going to be put on the Caterpillar too. But I might be wrong. But yeah, technically, obviously, it should have more seats on the Ironclad. But I mean, we'll find out soon enough. I don't think they know 100%, or at least they didn't when they made the video. Let's close that and go back to the Ironclad. Because, I mean, I can still try to answer questions if you have them. But I wanted to do at least something productive on this one. And that is these models, as I said, they are quite, I'm not going to say good. As you can see, they are missing a lot of the detail. And if you look at the mesh, it is very clean in some areas, but here and there, actually, here's some weird stuff. Actually, it's one of the cleaner hollow view models for sure. Oh no, please don't crash. Yes, the model has landing gear. That is also something that I considered doing today. Animating the landing gear and folding it out, because then I would know the final height from the ground. But yeah, the landing gear is tucked in here. All three of them. There's two of these smaller ones on each side. 1, 2, and then this bigger one right here. Okay, here you can see some mesh problems. But generally speaking, it's not too bad. It's not very detailed, but oh, here's some weird overlapping things. So my point is, these models are not too bad, but they're also not good enough to make pretty cinematics. And the most important thing for me is they don't have any textures, any UVs, no smoothing groups or hard edges or something like, or what are they called in other software? Like edge weights. Like they don't have on these models you have to decide on and tell the software which edges are sharp and which are roundish, and this is not done here. But most importantly, it has no texture coordinates, so I can't put textures on it. And all objects, all models, all materials, all everything, this is just one big blob. So it does not know that like these railings are a different material or object than the wall here. It's all just one. And the weight painting is usually more for animating landing gear, for like deforming things. My plan is not to do it in high fidelity. No. I'm going to use this. I'm going to put some easy texture or like materials on it for now. And then I'm going to focus on the interior. I just want to have this in a state where you can look at it with colors and see what's... And I probably will also use this for my tour for the exterior. But then I will focus on just the interior because, again, this is something that I can share with you. I can share the model with you. So what that means for me today, is that unfortunately I'm going to have to select every single object that is of one certain material, and then I have to assign it to that material. And for that I have the image open on the separate screen, and that is a quite tedious procedure, but we'll see. It also depends on how good the model is, because if they set it up as separate things, then I can select one chunk of object like this here. I can select this as one. And this is perfect because this is of this red material, this red metal. But on other parts that will not work, and I have to actually select these individual faces. So that's what I'm going to do now. For the next, I don't know. I mean, for this ship, I will probably not finish it today, because just for comparison, I did the same thing for the Golem recently. That took me about, I would say 2 hours to have just the base colors, and then some more work for like these stripes and markings that it has on the side. Oh, I will also have to put the Drake logos everywhere, obviously. Oh, but there are not that many. I can only see one right now. And the numbers for the here are numbers on these things. But let's not get ahead of myself. Let's create materials first. Let's call this Drake red. Because that is the only material right now. It's now assigned to everything, which is annoying. Like my machine is currently struggling a bit with the model, which is surprising because it's not that high. Holy. I have RAM, I have video RAM, I have... What do you want? What do you need? It's all here. Now we have... It already took way too long. But now we have our first red pieces. Once we have done that for all of them, I will have to make texture coordinates. That is also a very annoying manual process, where you basically have to convert the 3D model to a 2D surface that you can then draw on and put your textures on. And that takes a lot of time if you do it cleanly. And I'm going to have to do it kind of cleanly because I want to bake some nice lighting into this whole thing. How many polys has this model? That is an interesting question. Let me check. It has 1 million, pretty much exactly 1 million polygons. That is, I mean, back in the day that was quite a lot. Nowadays it's just not that much anymore. No, that it's not. 1 million polys is no reason to slow down the PC. Really, not anymore. I have not checked the Caterpillar, but I'm... Actually, let's pause this for 1 second. I want to just see how much an in-game model has. And I mean that runs in your game in real time with plenty of these. So the Caterpillar in-game has, including interior... Is it all the interior? Looks like it, yeah. That has 3.5 million. I expected more, to be honest. Still. Expected more, to be honest, because a lot of the Star Citizen chips, when it comes to polygons, are a bit... I would consider it wasteful, but whenever I talk to someone who is professionally into rendering, they always tell me that polygons are not the issue anymore. It doesn't matter how many polygons you throw at something. There are other things that are slowing things down nowadays. Polaris would be interesting. You know what? I have that here too, but I have the Polaris that we got for Invictus, so that's the interior, the exterior only. Let's have a look at that too. Got it. This is the in-game model of the Polaris with textures without the interior. So it's not the final. No, I think they said the mesh was final for I think it was Invictus. It was only missing some of the POM detail. So polygon-wise, that should be the final chip, and it is. Drum roll. 4.5 million. Well, closer to 5 million, and that's the interior only. That's quite a bit more. And again, you all know that the Polaris is taxing on your computers, but you can have a few of them on screen without the kind of slowdowns I just had with this one small Ironclad. Oh, did I say interior only? I'm sorry. That was exterior only, obviously. Now I'm curious, what... I'm still, if I think about the Ironclad, I still don't see the full picture. The Galaxy, I now have like a feeling for the whole ship because I had everything in my hand and built everything and walked everywhere. For this one, I only see different sections for now. I don't have them all connected in my head. But what areas or sections of the Ironclad are you most excited for? Do you know that you can right-click in the bottom right where it says your memory to show statistics? I did not. Oh, thank you. That's interesting. That's very cool. Thank you, Salami. But unfortunately, my streams will not be as peak in production as my videos are, because if they are peak, as you say, then only because I spent 8 weeks rendering and animating everything, and I don't have that luxury here. By the way, I'm always grateful for Blender tips. I'm quite happy with Blender now, but I have only really started using that 1.5 years ago for the Star Citizen stuff. Before that I wasn't doing that much 3D for a while, but if I used Max. And so I'm still relatively new in Blender, and whenever you have shortcuts like these right here, I'm always super happy to learn more stuff. And also, I already know that I will do a lot of things here that are not the fastest and not the... There are always easier way, especially in Blender. There are always shortcuts that I don't know about. So whenever you have a tip for me, I'm always happy to learn from you as well. I'm very excited for the stairs. Which kind of stairs? In the front? Or all the stairs inside? Because it has a lot of stairways. I already saw that. Are you talking about the ramp stairways, or? I'm really interested in the balconies coming off to the outside. This one I'm just looking at. Because, to be honest, this is what I was going to say. This here is the area I'm most interested in. I don't know why, but I just think it will feel so cool to stand on the side here. I don't know how it will be, like 10 meters off the ground if it's parked, but if you're like flying over a planet and standing on the balcony here, I think it's a super fantastic place. Super atmospheric in a way. I don't know. Wie viel kostet dein Patreon mit Mehrwertsteuer? How much is my Patreon? First and foremost, my Patreon is very much optional. So all this stuff is obviously free. The only thing that is an exclusive is the scenes that I have, the way you can walk around for yourself. And that is... There's a free tier, and the tier where you get the stuff is €5. If you... The question was in German, so it will be €5 or €4.50. I don't know the conversion. I think I said it to $5, something like that. And the higher tier is not, there's nothing more in the higher tiers. It's just for people for space whales who want to throw more quality into these videos by making me have an excuse to spend more time on this. I think the numpad 5 key still toggles between isometric view, and I believe the numpad 0 snaps. Yeah, I know that. The snapping I use all the time to circle around stuff. And the isometric, I hate isometric views. I've never used them in my whole life. I don't know why. Do you think the work on the Ironclad will really help them progress with the Kraken? They have said as much, but not sure how much it helps. Oh, I think it will help a lot. Like, a lot. Like, a lot of these, like this right here, like these ceilings, they will be all new Drake models they have to build, like a model kit. These wall elements, all of that, they can reuse all of that for the Drake. For all future big Drake ships, but especially for the Kraken. They can already use a lot of the Caterpillar stuff, obviously. Maybe they have railings like these, but this is just an example of things they can reuse, and I think that will help a lot. They said the same about the Galaxy and the Perseus, and I see it less there because I think these have quite different design aesthetics when it comes to like wall detailing and stuff. Especially the Perseus Polaris and the Galaxy, because one is a bit more military. Two are more military and one is more not military. But on these ones, it feels like it could be the very, very same toolkit for all three ships. I think he means the ones on the roof. Oh yeah, there's another one in the back here. This is very cool too. Actually, since I'm here... Oh no, it's not red. Sorry. Could already color that. Are there... Oh, here's another balcony. I have not seen this one. So there's two here. Also, so cool. I always love these cool places where you have interesting angles to look from, and this will be such a cool angle. Unfortunately, you can't see into the interior from here. That would be cool too. But these spectacular big engines. And then on the other side we have the mirrored... Actually, is it mirrored? It's not. Interesting. In the HoloViewer model it is missing the railing on this side. So I'm not sure if it's going to... For some reason I assumed that this place here is only visible on this side, but I don't know about that. Oh, sorry, so much on the chat going on. Look like a few on the bottom. I think on the bottom you mean... So are you saying that I have seen all of them now? So 2 on the sides, 2 on the top, and then, well, these here? Are there more places you can walk on that I have not found, other than these? 1, 2, 3 on either side. Interested in the whole clad boxes, peak boxes, love. The 3 stairways leading to the main areas. I'm tired of ladders. Oh yeah. The interior, that's why I'm interested in this, because with all these labyrinth-like stairways and walkways inside, will be a super interesting ship to walk around. Do you think we'll be able to squeeze a vulture in the Ironclad? I'm not sure. I think it would be a waste if not. I can try to get it in now, but I think it would not be of any value. Maybe you asked me that in the next or 2 episodes from now, when I have the interior rebuilt. I think everything now is just a... I think I'll have a better answer next episode or 2 episodes from now. Internal room kits help progress other ships for the same themes and manufacturers. That's true, and on this one, the exterior can also reuse a lot of the... For other ships, the exterior is very bespoke, but if you look at this here, all these tubes and plating and stuff on the side, I'm sure you could reuse all of that on the Kraken, and then you would obviously have to do some more, but I think this will help on no other ship as much as on the Kraken, because it looks so stacked together. You can wait to see the vehicle repair bay. I look forward to that too. That's super cool with these 2 the mules inside. It looks pretty interesting already. Will be cool to stand in it in a wormhole. Do you think we can stand outside if we are in I wanted to say hyperspace, in quantum space? Do you think are there ships where you can walk outside in quantum or in wormholes? Never thought about that. Is the cargo roof animated on this model? It is not yet, but I will animate it for sure. Not today, but absolutely. And soon, because it's important. When do you think the Galaxy will come out? Not this year. If we get the Perseus by the end of this year, then earliest IAE next year. But I don't have more information than you, it's just my guess. Walkways above the opening all along the cargo hold. Yeah, but that's inside, right? That's on the interior, and these are not in the model. I have to do them. Turrets have good firing arcs. I have to animate those too. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know about Mehrwertsteuer. I didn't know that goes on top, actually. I had no idea. That's annoying. Oh, you don't need that. It's super optional. Do you think we're going to be able to get to those top walkways from inside the ship? Makes sense given the Corsair roof elevator. I'm sure we can get in only from inside the ship. I think I saw in the they have a higher res model in the show, in the IE. I think there's doors here. And somewhere here. And for these ones, I'm not sure how you could get there. We'll have a look at the image. No, honestly, I don't see any way to get to these areas. Maybe that's... no, I don't see any way to get here. Sorry. Here, obviously, from the inside. And here, I think, are doors, but maybe this is just for decorational purposes. Curious how you access the roof. Yeah, I just showed that, I think. Love your work. Thank you. Since they have to rework it for the base building. I don't think they have to rework the whole Galaxy. I think they will release it and then have the base building module years later. Even if that means that there are still problems with it. There seems to be a fort on the upper aft port side between the crew cabin and the command module. There seems a door outside between the crew cabin. I don't know where the crew cabin is. But I guess you're talking about this here, right? Because this is the command module, so this would be the door, I think. Is the Drake ship larger than the Kraken? Not currently, to my knowledge. I think the Kraken is the biggest Drake ship. Truly hopeful it will be out in upcoming event. I hope not. I hope for you that it will come at this Invictus. But for my streams, I hope, and for my videos, I hope I get another half year working on this. Kraken is the largest drape in lore. Oh, you can sit outside. Interesting. Turned from art stream. True, it turned from an art stream into Q&A. Sorry. Maybe that's interesting too. Do you think we get the Ironclad this event? No, I said that I fear it might be coming because it was so far along. I thought that they would be releasing the Perseus this Invictus because it fits better with the theme. and that the Ironclad comes at IE, because again that fits better. But now in the sprint, not the sprint report, the last report, they said that the Perseus is not as far along as we thought, even though maybe they just said that to like trick us, and it will be coming out at Invictus, and if it does, then the Ironclad would come out later, maybe IAE. But if their report was true, then I assume that the Perseus will not come, and they will have another big ship, and that might be the Ironclad. I hope it's not, because I want to continue working on this. And maybe they only have the attack, Starline's attack. And maybe they have the new Asgard. Maybe that is big too. We don't know right now if it's a big ship or it's just another Valkyrie. What's the word? Something similar to the Valkyrie. Yeah, but I think it could very be likely that the Ironclad is coming, this Invictus, but I'm not sure. There are some ships that can walk around outside. True. Is this the real one or the CIG one? Wait, no. Is it yours or CIG's? It's both real and CIG's. This is the Hollow Viewer model. I'm going to build the interior, but I have not started yet because there's too many questions, I'm afraid. Yeah, sorry about the pricing. Maybe I'll adjust them someday. Also, they have already increased since I didn't increase the prices. They apparently they increase with inflation by themselves. Or it's the conversion, I'm not sure. So he's working for CIG. No, I'm not working for CIG. There's about a 3-minute delay between chat and stream. Is that bad? Is that normal? I don't know. Is there anything I can do about that? Or is that just how stuff happens? Sad, can we see the interior? Yes, but it will take a few weeks. So I'm going to build the interior, but this model has no interior. But this is the purpose of this stream series. But today I'm not going to finish anything. This was a test, set up some of the materials, and I have started setting up building the interior, but I'm not going to do that today. Half a year from an unfinished Polaris to a finished Perseus was never realistic. I'm not sure about that, because we don't know if they had people working on them simultaneously. But yeah, honestly, I never really expected the Perseus to come out already, but what Grimm said, and usually he has a good feeling for these things, is that they might have the exterior ready, and the interior comes then, I don't know, at IE or maybe even next Invictus. But in their sprint report, it sounded like even the exterior is not ready for showing it. Variants. Yeah, that was the word I was looking for. Variant. I'm torn between the Asgard being big or being a bigger APC, kind of like a Titan carrier. I have no idea what the Asgard is, and I'm not going to make guesses because I did that last year with the I always forget the name. The Spartan. No, what is it called? Not the Spartan. The Paladin. I thought the Anvil Paladin. The name was leaked, I don't know, 4 weeks, 8 weeks before it was shown. And back then I was thinking that that is the big carrier and the big thing some people hope to see. And so now I'm not going to put the same hope into the Asgard to then be disappointed and have another small dropship. But I hope it's going to be a big carrier. But at the same time, they already have, Anvil has a big carrier. That's kind of what the... Oh, Jesus, I'm so bad with names. The flat one. The one we talked about like half an hour ago. The Legionnaire. That's basically their carrier, I think. But I would like a more closed, bigger carrier too. Ironclad fits more into IE at the end of the year than Defense Con. A 1 year turnaround for a ship this size would be unpredictable. True, but we have seen the ship last year and it looked incredibly far along. That was all in Blender, but it was still very far along compared to the white box they usually show us. And also, I would also say IE is the better fit. But if they did not finish the Perseus or something similar, then yeah, maybe they want to have this, to have any big ships for sale. I don't, just, my guess is as good as yours at this point. 3 minutes is bad, 30 seconds is normalish. Again, can I do something? Can I reset that or something? Do you plan to work for CIG, maybe in freelance, or did you already? No, I have not worked for them. I did not really plan to. People always tell me I have to work there, but I'm not sure if that would ruin my hobby. I have a decent job. I have worked for bigger stuff than CIG. And I'm not sure if I want to, yeah, ruin my hobby. I thought about it. I'm not going to rule it out, but currently I think that would be sad to... It would basically... I would know all this stuff that I'm thinking about right now in one day, and then I have nothing to speculate anymore. That would be so sad. Liberator. Oh, sorry. Legionnaire, something else. I guess for the Asgard is a hollowed out Valkyrie with a transport mechanism like the one on the Halo Pelican for transporting and dropping off vehicles. Yeah, that leak where they that audio file where they said it's what is it? Carrying the heavy hitters to the front line or something like that. It can mean tanks, it can also mean people, it can mean mech suits, it could mean everything. And I think honestly, I think they deliberately leaked that sound file for us to speculate, because it tells us nothing. Oh, but yeah, I'm sure the Asgard will be a concept chip only. But you're saying by all the leaks it sounds big. I have not seen any leak where it sounds big. In the leaks I saw, it could be really anything. Like Zeros just said, it could be just a dropship for people. How long have you worked on this one? About 20 minutes. Because I only did the color. The model that is the HoloViewer model. My job here is to build the interior, and I have not started yet because, yeah, as people pointed out, this kind of turned into a Q&A, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, it's fun. But I'm only building the interior. This is the official HoloViewer model. Wait, I'm already subscribed. Are you the guy who makes speculation on ships? I do. I'm not sure if I'm the guy. There are a lot of guys who make speculations on ships. But I like to introduce myself as the guy who rebuilt the Galaxy interior and did all these concept sketches of the silhouette videos. They don't care about the theme of the in-game con. They release them to whatever event they are ready to fit their marketing. I feel like they do that if they have to, but if they can, they try to make that match. For example, the Polaris, they deliberately put that on Invictus even though it was not ready, just because it was such a good fit. And I'm happy that they did, because just touring the outside was already fantastic and have it fly around, obviously. You're fantastic at your hobby. Thank you. Is there a possibility the Asgard is the silhouette ship you theorized to be the CNOU ship? Could explain the low belly if it was ground vehicle carrier, possibly a small Nova tank transporter. I saw some people commenting that under my videos. I don't think so. I can tell you that that silhouette is way too small to carry a Nova. That's the only thing I can tell you for sure. A Nova is as big as that silhouette. And I still think strongly that it will be some kind of CNOU ship. I'm not saying that my guess is the one, but I still think it will be a CNOU ship. I think the Asgard is something new that we haven't seen before. I heard some people who have contact to leakers say that it's a Valkyrie variant. I don't think there's anything proving that right now. It could still be a big ship, but I think that flat one is a CNOU ship, but I don't know. I just think that. You should have named the video "Building My Own Ironclad." Didn't I? Oh, or "Building My Own Caterpillar." Building my own? Okay, so you're saying I should have added... Okay, yeah. I should have read the second half. He is the guy. I'm not sure if I'm the guy. Hello. From your opinion, do you think the current mining ships can support some kind of saddleback deployment? Do you think the current mining ships can support some kind of saddleback deployment? Can you explain that a bit to me? I'm not sure if my English is not good enough, but I don't really understand what you mean by saddleback deployment. Like an automatic system, or what exactly are you talking about? Your video is incredible. I'm really shocked that you do all this only for your hobbies. Other people do this for another. Thank you very much. Obviously, my job is not too far from this. Otherwise, I would not be that... I'm not fast with anything I do, but obviously I have some... I don't do anything with 3D, but at least I'm close enough to... I wouldn't call it just a hobby. I'm a bit closer to all this stuff. I just don't have any connection to games usually. Settings located directly on the first page of settings before you start the stream. Thank you, Cirrus. Can I do that in the stream, or I have to do it later for the next one? Actually, I mean, I just write that down now and I'm going to do that later. If I can do it while streaming, please let me know, then I'm going to do it right now, but otherwise I'll fix it next time. Thank you very much. This is one of the things that I wanted to, yeah, use this first test stream for. Oh, what I would also be interested in, is the stream quality good enough? I know that we have all these fine lines here and stuff. Is that good enough? Should I increase the bitrate? I have no idea how that... how good that resolution looks. Liberator after this one, the earliest. I'm in chat. Oh, I didn't read that. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I have read the name earlier, but my fault. Yes, like unattaching full bags and deploy fresh bags. Current PTU build has added some interesting mechanics for them. I thought about that recently too. I'm not sure what the plan is. I was thinking about it because of these golem boxes, because they are obviously much better for stacking. So we were even speculating if they will replace all the saddlebags with some kind of boxes like these, but I don't think so, unfortunately. But I'm not sure how that all works out. The only information about that I have that other people might have not is I have made this animation for how I think the saddlebags will work on the Galaxy. Because the Galaxy on the bottom has this mechanism that is supposed to work directly with, they said specifically with a prospector. So apparently they can extract the resources from the prospector directly from the outside of the Galaxy. In the Galaxy refinery video, I have a short, nicely rendered animation with the prospector docking on the outside, if you haven't seen that. But I'm going to have to think about that some more, because spoiler, I'm trying to do one more Galaxy video for Invictus, because I thought the Golem is such a nice fit for that, and I want to revisit the mining and refining capabilities of the Galaxy with this new ship, and also with the Atlas, obviously. So I wanted to mention that if there's anything regarding Galaxy, mining, Golem, Atlas suit, Atlas Geo, please let me know. I think most handy would be if you post those questions under the Galaxy refinery video, because I basically will do like an update on that. I'll try. I only have 4.5 weeks or something left, but I'm really trying to get that out for IE. You need to reboot. Okay, I'll do that later. Thank you. Okay, that's even more helpful. Thank you. Danke. Stream quality is fine. Nice. YouTube can handle very high bitrate. I know, but I don't want to make it higher than it needs to be, right? That's just wasteful. Just listening and playing something else. Yeah, that's what this is for. Okay. I can't catch up with the chat. Okay. Let me do some more work so I can get at least something done today. I would really like to have all the red plates colored. That would be at least something. Oh, actually, I mean, there are different color schemes for the Ironclad. I have not really thought about which. No, I'm definitely going to do the red and black one. That looks the coolest to me. I can always change it later, but for now I'm going to build the red and black. I think it's a standard one. I'm not sure if it's the standard one, but this one. Do you have any ideas how they do a Galaxy drone module? There's not much ground clearance, so I'm curious if there are any thoughts other than just having them come from the belly. For the Galaxy, you mean, I assume? I think they will have to figure out a way to deploy them from the bottom. I think there's quite a lot of clearance on the Galaxy, because you would have to stack the boxes from the bottom, so there needs to be at least 3.5 meters. And if they get their AI for the drones somewhat working, that should be enough, I think. But I mean, that is just a guess based on nothing. I think they will have to find a way to make their drones deploy from the bottom. I think having a separate entrance or exit for the drones on the sides or at the top, that would really mess with the modularity on the Galaxy. That would, yeah, more things would have to be modular, and that's usually, I think they try to avoid that because it makes it a lot more complicated. Maybe they have to do that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why having them from the bottom is such a big problem for them. Obviously, having them from the top, that absolutely looks easiest, but I mean, they need to have some kind of pathfinding and obstacle detection for the drones anyway, so it should be possible from the bottom too. We'll see. They could fly out the back. No, I don't think they could. They would have to fly through the hangar. Or they would have to change the hangar too, and that's what I mean. I don't think they so far try to have all modular aspects just in that modular section, which is just the middle and not the hangar. The hangar is exactly the same in every configuration so far. Obviously that can change, and that would obviously be the easiest, but we don't know. Weak spots on the pilot. True. Engines should be weak. True. I hope that these engines can be shot off, because that would be fun gameplay to take down an Ironclad by shooting off its engines. And it has so many that you can shoot 1 or 2 off without it being completely stranded. Serious, I'm off now. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here, and thanks for the tips. I'll try to incorporate that. Oh, thanks. With someone that knows how to do it. Wait, with someone that know how to do, it would probably be easy to add all your work as X4 mods, just like the Eve mod. Yeah, but that's not possible because that's still a CIG model. The exterior is a CIG model. I only built the interior, and I don't think the interior would be of any use for modding in other games if you can't use the outside hull of the ship. Did you say 12 engines? Oh, you're counting the 2 on the command module too. Ironclad is lacking firepower. I mean, it's a carrier. It's a cargo ship. Did you model this yourself, or did you find an archived STL in the game files? Neither. This is the HoloViewer model. You can get those on the website with a bit of digging, but generally they are basically available. And you can on every ship you can go to a HoloViewer section and you can see the model there. I just started doing the texture work. I'm going to build the interior. That's what I'm going to do here. That's the purpose of this stream. But I'm not going to start the interior just today. This will be quite a long series by the speed we're going right now. I have not really put too much thought into how much this ship can take exterior-wise, how much it would break off here, if you're still talking about the engines. I'm just super excited to board this ship. I think this will be the most interesting ship for boarding mission. The interior is so perfect for both attacking and defending. It's almost as if it's designed to be a level for some kind of infiltration or defending mission. Super excited for that. That's a tutorial I'd love to have. For what, sorry? For what do you want a tutorial? Do you think this was one of the ships mentioned in the March monthly report? If I'm not wrong... Oh no, right. They didn't specifically talk about the Ironclad, didn't they? I think they didn't mention it by name, and that for me is an indicator that it is further along that they want to admit, honestly. Otherwise, they would just tell us now that it won't be ready and we would be good. Would make it good. Yeah, it would make a perfect FPS map. That is, where's the model from? This is the HoloViewer model. So I can't give you a full tutorial for how to get the HoloViewer files. I know there is a tutorial on Reddit, if you look for it. And I can tell you how to find them, but I can't give you a full tutorial. I'm not sure if we're allowed to do that. You go to the website, you go to your ship, you open the HoloViewer, you have the HoloViewer open in your web browser, and then in your browser, if you use Firefox, you go to more tools, page source, and then in the page source, you can look for the 3D model. And if I'm not wrong, you're just looking for .ctl, that is the 3D model file. You can also just look for 3D. And somewhere in there is a file path that says, it's basically just a file path that says rsi.com/whatever, and then some random number and letters.ctl. And you can just copy that, put it in your address line on the top, and then we will just download that model. And then you can convert that with, there are online converters, there are converters you can download, and you can just convert that to OBJ. Also, is it me or is this 3D model somehow very thin on the engines? Artworks made them bigger. No, it is not thin on the engines. In fact, I have lined it up perfectly to the artwork. And as you can see, I find the right camera. As you can see, that lines perfectly with the image. It's just missing some of these fine details here. Maybe that makes it look a little bit thicker to you. These here, that's just fine detail missing. Sorry to ask, but do you think it is possible to have access on the roof on the Ironclad? These things you can absolutely ask. That's what I'm here for. I think there's access here. Why is that red? I think there's a door here. And I think there's another door here. But I don't know that. I don't think there's any entrance on the front where you can walk around. We talked about that earlier. I don't think that this area here has any way to get there. Or are you talking about the very roof of the cockpit here? Not cockpit, the command bridge. Because this is just for stability, I think. And there's a lot of glass here, so I don't think you can walk on that, if that's what you mean. So, did I get all the red parts? Looks kinda like it. Let's do some... Yo, just want to say your model work and videos are freaking amazing. Thank you, even though I have to say that I did not model this. I only modeled the interior stuff and the apartment and stuff. Yeah. Don't want to take credit for these CIG ships. Now we have to do some chrome. Oh. Interestingly, there's a lot of detail in these HoloViewer models, but some pieces are just missing. There are more chrome pieces here that are not in this model, unfortunately. On the right side of the tractor command center, there appears to be a gap in the corner. In the photos it looks dark. It appears to be a corridor with a door at roof level. On the right side of the tractor command center, there appears to be a gap in the corner. I have the image open, sorry. Are you talking about this corner here? This corner is very dark in the image, but I don't see any kind of door anywhere near that. As I don't see any door here. Other side? Oh, but you... What image are you talking about then? On the image I'm looking at this, you can't... Oh! Oh, you're talking about this area here. True, that is very dark. And there could be a door. But actually, right now I can't really answer that, but we'll have a look at that in the next episode where I talked about earlier that I have, I made 3D scans from the video. They have the video where they showed the interior, and I made models from that by using photogrammetry. That is not a very good model, but we can look at that in more detail next week. If there is something, then maybe it's visible on that. I don't think there's a door here, but this, I mean, it could be, but still. To be honest, I think there should be some access to the roof here, but I'm not sure if it needs that. We don't know. Okay, more chromey bits. Here's something chromey, but that is also not in the HoloViewer model, unfortunately. Same here. They took all the chrome. This is supposed to be chrome. Yeah, I also have not seen, or at least I don't have any ships in mind right now that have catwalks like this one has. Seems to be new and unique and very, very cool. One thing that don't make sense for me is the seat on the front of the Ironclad. For what is that on the Ironclad base model? What seat are you talking about? The one in the... this one here? I think it's for overlooking the entrance. Because... as well... Wait, actually I have no idea. The base variant has the ramp too, right? Or is that only the assault? they should both have the ramp, right? So that is for overlook in that. And then also there will be some kind of tractor beam in the front. So I guess what you're saying is that only one side is needed for the tractor beam, and then maybe the other is just for overwatching the whole area. Why do you think 3 tractor beams are too many for a ship of this size? I think that's the whole idea, that you have a lot of people working at the same time. Okay, unfortunately I can't find any more chrome pieces on this model. So I'm only adding these brass ones, and then I'm going to add the Drake logos, so we have the nice logos on top. Deployable turret size 2 terabyte. There's 2 terabyte attached to that turret, that's crazy. I think it looks better with the... Sorry, the background is ugly. This is mainly used for lighting. But I'm afraid that these checkerboards will be super weird on stream, quality-wise. That will mess up the quality, so I'm just going to leave this. Ignore the weird cropping on the background. This is mainly for lighting. That helps with making these reflections look a bit better. Yeah, but that's a good start. Have any elevators on the bottom of the ship? I have not seen any yet, but I honestly have not really looked for elevators. I think there are so many entrances. In fact, I remember that they said there's 4 entrances to the ship in the episodes, and I have already found more than 4, so As far as I know, there are no elevators. And if there were this model, it would be really hard to see it on this model. It's not very detailed on the bottom. Because if you have seen that on other streams, like I know that Grim from Star Jumps sometimes likes to click on objects and then he sees in the name what it actually is. Like he would click on this and it would say that it is a thruster or something. That is only possible with the game models, not with the HoloViewer models. And this obviously is the latter of the two, unfortunately. I also think another elevator on the bottom. I think at this point it has enough entrance points to be already quite hard to defend. I think even I mean, there's two entrances here, one in the front, one on the command module if it's detached. Then there's here's the docking port, and then assumedly there's another door here and maybe even another one here. So there's plenty of entrances already. Oh, and then the giant roof opening, obviously. How can we access the command module from the outside? No, we can't access the command module from the outside, but they talked about that when this is detached, you can open this. I don't know why they said that, but sorry, I think they just talked about the entrance points to the ships, and they saw coming from the command module as one of the entrances of the ships, but you're right, it's not an entrance you can use from the outside. Yeah, this monstrosity calls to me too, apparently that's why I'm doing this. Okay, so now I want to finally... Actually, no, we have to do the glass. We have to do the glass before I can... Oh, that's so nice. For the Paladin, I had to select this all manually because they were not set up as cleanly as this is. I'm not going to make the glass transparent for now because that would just look ugly. Because the interior is so ugly. But having it nice and reflective will already help it stand out as glass. Hopefully. And then I can make it transparent later. Is this a window? Nope. Oh, actually, this is interesting. This is interesting. Usually there's more detail only on the official model, but there's a detail here that is not on the... Let me show you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Oh, Starjump is here. Which Starjump? I assume it's Grim? If you look at this, I'm currently struggling with this here. On the outside, there's this big panel here, and definitely not a window. This is a window, this is a window, This is just a big panel. But on the model, there's a small little window here. Yeah, it's Grim. Hey Grim, nice to see you. I just didn't plan anything. I just wanted to spontaneously test something, and then obviously next week or something before Invictus I wanted to start building the interior of this thing. Not sure I'm going to finish it, at least not with the progress I'm making right now. There's a door on the left side of the command module. You're not talking about you're talking about this main entrance, right? There's not another door. Yeah, we have speculated about that earlier too. For me, the fact that it was not mentioned in the report is an indicator that it is, I mean, most likely coming, right? Otherwise, why not say that it's coming along well, but not well enough to have it on the Invictus show? I think having it on Invictus is the only reason for me not to talk about it right now. But I hope it's not coming at Invictus. There's an escape hatch on the wrecked caterpillar on the lower port side of the command module, I believe. I mean, it's the old command module, so who knows? It will be out soon. Kronak, do you know that? Do you know more than me? Or do you think that it will be out soon? Because if you're telling me right now you know that it will be out in 4 weeks, I might stop working right now. I think soon for me and for us means this Invictus. Little Maybach, yes I have. But I focus on that right now. I mean, it's not super early. It's not super... I don't need answers right now, but basically anything that... any information I can get, I'm happy to get, obviously. I'm sure I'll have more specific answers, but I'll get to you later on that. Because I'm right now in the Drake headspace. We got Staff Hub almost fixed. What do you mean almost? The last time I asked was a few days away, but that was 2 months ago. Do you have new information? Is it really fixed soon? Do you think it will be fixed before Invictus? If you had to drop the Ironclad, what would you make next? That is an interesting question, because it's I have not thought about it. Before I put my head on the Ironclad, I would have said Polaris, but obviously that is out now. I think I would be interested in doing the Odyssey. That is kind of similar to the Galaxy in a way, but at the same time, I really like MISC ships in general. So that is interesting to me. The Kraken obviously would be the most interesting, but that's maybe too big to tackle for me. Don't worry, not Invictus. Thank you. That would be nice. Just to give me some more time, even though I'm sad if all you people don't get your Ironclad that soon. Ooh, interesting. Nice. Starfab. Oh, I can't wait to have Starfab again. Will this come with any PDTs? It's honestly big enough to warrant some, but I don't know how they decided which ships they get them. I quote Grim, I think all big ships will have them from now on. I think this will get them too. Maybe not as many, but sure. Oh, Endeavor. Oh, people always ask me to do the Endeavor, but honestly, to be honest, to me, the Endeavor looks like a concept for a different game because it's so old. It sure is interesting, and it would sure be a good fit for my channel. But right now, to me, that feels a bit... it still feels so far away that I don't really even want to start it. Genesis, oh yeah, the Genesis Starlight, that would be super interesting too for me. That is also on my interested list. Arastra, also thought about, even when that came out, I thought if I could do just a quick one, but unfortunately I didn't because I wouldn't be finished right now, but the Arastra is interesting to me too. Yeah, but as you can see, there's a lot of ships that I'm interested in building, so I think this Drake could keep me busy for the next year, just like the Odyssey. I think then the Ironclad could drop during the DefenseCon. We just talked about that. I hope not. I think it's possible. Some people with maybe more knowledge than me seem to think it's not coming this Invictus or DefenseCon. I earlier said that because it was mentioned in the report, it was not mentioned in the report. To me, that sounds like it's so far along that it could be coming out, but we'll see. Hello, Bakan. There's a lot of ads on the stream. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I didn't touch any of that. I just left it on default. I didn't touch any of that. Or place anything like that. Do the Liberator. I know a lot of people like the Liberator. I don't know why a lot of people like the Liberator, honestly. Maybe you let me know why you like the Liberator so much. Because if I want to build a carrier ship, I would be much more interested in building the Kraken. Obviously, they are very different gameplay-wise, but like from my perspective, why would I do the Liberator if I could do the Kraken? Because I could finish one, maybe, yeah, that's the reason. Starliner is one of the roughest models. You're talking about the Holovio model, right? Yeah, that's... I haven't looked at it, but I assume, because it's quite old, right? Retribution with full interior, sure. I'll do that. I'm not sure the Retribution will ever have an interior. There will be 2 ships out, sure, at Invictus. Idris and Perseus. Sure. Idris will take some more time to go GG in the hands of the owners, but the ship is already fully finished. Kronak. I wish I knew if you have what your sources are. I personally would not... Like, in the report it sounded like the Perseus is really not that far along. Not far enough to have even the exterior shown, but I mean, again, they could do that to confuse us. We don't know, but to me it sounded like the Perseus is not ready, even though it would be a good fit, obviously, for this Polaris event, fighting the Polaris event. And the Kraken there is already a high fidelity model. Yeah, but I'm talking, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about building the whole interior. I don't really want to spend too much time on this exterior because you have made it pretty already. Other people have. I want to build the interior here, but I haven't started because I can't keep up with the chat. Yeah, that's what I meant, Grim. I just thought that maybe this whole it's only finished in white box is a ruse to have... I think it's not ready and then, ooh, it is ready actually. But yeah, honestly, I would be surprised if they have ready. I was surprised when I think you also speculated at one point that it might be ready, right? If I'm not wrong, you said on your stream, I'm sorry, I'm talking to Grim, that you think it could be ready, this Invictus, but that was obviously before that report. No, sorry, that's not a roof window I'm looking at for the last 20 minutes. That is going to be the Drake text logo. I'm going to put that on right now. It's white. Oh, they have both a white and a black Drake logo, so I need both. Actually, I only need one. Oh yeah, yeah, okay, you hoped it would come and then... Right, okay, so we're at the same page. Switch. Okay, fair enough. So you're saying you have information on the Ironclad, and you are saying it's far, but not Invictus far. That's what I like to hear. I want it to be soon, but I don't want it right now, because then I could stop building the interior myself. Okay, there we go. There's our first logo. The other one is... where is it? Yeah. That surface looks very different in the concept. I think this one is highly reflective. That's what it looks like. Are there more logos I'm missing? I don't think so. I heard the Ironclad was going into production when the original ISC revealing it came out. Yeah, I heard the same, but wouldn't you say that the model they showed in that episode was more than just their normal HoloViewer model? Their normal grey box model that looked so far along already in the Blender scene they have shown, that already felt very, very a lot further along than other grey boxes they have shown comparatively. I asked Gavin about that. The Ironclad model shown was a concept model, but was being prepped for production handoff. Interesting. I have not looked at it. I haven't looked at it like super detailed, but it felt like there were so many pieces in there they could just use for their final model, but I'm not sure. The fact that it was all in Blender but then also so organized and so well separated by everything. Looked to me, it looked more like your average gray box, that's all I'm saying. Also, do you know if he built that model, that concept model, or if he just made the images, the artworks, and CIG built the model around it? Oh, really? That's crazy. That's a lot of work for one person. During a bar citizen in February, I was talking with a dev. He said as soon as he got back from vacation, he was starting on the Ironclad full time. He made it seem like it wasn't in full production yet. Sorry, Grim, since we're on that already. So is Gavin doing only the model work? Or is he also doing the overpaint? Is he doing like the whole concept stuff we see? Or is he just doing the modeling and then some CIG artist takes over and paints a little over and adds some details? Or how does it work? Super interested about that. I would have loved to join that talk. Also, I haven't looked at everything in chat. I hope you two guys are not fighting too much. I hope you have a civilized discussion. And I don't know if do you know each other? If you don't, Starjump and Grim in particular, he's a much better source than me when it comes to speculation, and his streams go really in depth talking about all this stuff. I said it to him earlier, Grim was mainly the inspiration for me doing this stuff because I saw him playing with models, and then I wanted to add to that and walk inside the models, basically. That was my introduction to this whole, I don't want to say modding, but this whole technical, creative community behind the game. Okay, that's cool if you get along. Gavin does model work, concepting, interior layouts, material work, and then hands it over. He does create some of the key art as well with those assets. That's amazing. I love his work, obviously. Bye, Chronaq, thank you for joining me on this one, and super cool if you join again in the future. Though we didn't get anything done today. I have to work on that. Grim, I have so much respect for you people doing all this showing stuff and talking all simultaneously. I just can't do it. I can't multitask that well. I'm going to put some more texture on the ship now. No, I don't have the cinematic Kraken model. I was not aware that it's still in the files. I thought they took it out at some point. I never actually tried to get it. Is it still in there? It'll be like Grim and get a talkative Australian to join you. I know which one you're talking about. We just had our first chat a few days ago. And he just... oh yeah, Grim, that would be super helpful. Yeah, Grim, like 2 days ago, like in the middle of the night here, Execute called me out of nowhere just to explain to me for an hour how wrong my my drawing of the Drake ship is and how wrong both of you and me are. And he got super excited, not excited, he got super angry. Like in a fun way, he got super, he had 2 other people of his org in the chat and they were all like fighting about details. It was super interesting, super fun. But yeah, he was really not having my concept. Goldfish mentality. I don't know if you manage modeling at the same time. As you can see, I'm not managing anything. I just took 5 minutes to find a texture and I haven't found it. In fact, I have overwritten the texture I was going to use for this, unfortunately. I have overwritten that with a light bake and now it's gone. That's unfortunate because I really need that texture. I have to find that again if I want to finish this model. I have some substitute for now, but it's not really what I want. To make the red more interesting. Oh, thank you, Grim. I get that later. My bandwidth should be decent, but I don't want to risk it. Lexic is passionate. Yeah, he definitely is passionate. We disagree for sure on that heavy fighter from Drake. I have not heard your opinion. Because I said it's not a heavy fighter. What did you think about that concept idea? I think it's somewhere in between that and... No, it's not even in between. I think it's just a spin on your idea. It's not a heavy fighter, but something in that ballpark at least. Oh, fair enough. I'm not sure how much longer we'll make today because it's already very late here. I'll do that more often in the future, and I'm sure we'll see each other soon enough. So thank you very much for jumping in. Fair enough. Fair enough. Even though I think the idea that execute... I mean, you go... you go feed your kids. And just... I think execute's idea was not too bad either, even though I think it's... I don't think it's that. Actually, maybe I think I can share that with the rest. If you have seen my last silhouette video, the second one, and my Drake ship, execute we just talked about, he said he think it's... he's not the only one. I had a few comments thinking that it's an... oh boy, now I have my ship naming problems again. Oh, sorry, just... where did I stop? I forgot how that ship was called. Maybe you can help me. The tall alien ship with the rotating wings. What is that called again? No, not the Raylan. The one that is out already. Raylan is the cargo ship. No, I'm talking about this Misk ship that also incorporates some alien technology that we already have. Reliant. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the Reliant. The Reliant. He thinks that this, the ship that I and most other people think is a Drake ship is a Reliant variant or successor or something like that. Because of these round shapes that I said is a docking collar. He thinks it's these ball turrets and that the two wings rotate to top and bottom instead of the folding that I have animated. And the reason he thinks that, and this is something I think has a little bit of merit, there is no real asymmetry in Star Citizen. There's always like for example the Corsair. There's visual asymmetry, but both wings have about the same mass, and this would be very different on the silhouette I've shown. One of the wings is at least a third bigger, maybe more. And so he thinks that can't be, that one is on the side and one on the other. So if one is on the top and one is on the bottom, that would work better, like gravity-wise. But I'm not sold because the wings in that silhouette to me look very thin and not as massive as these Reliant wings. But then he also pointed to the information that I also talked about. He had also had a few people from CIG, like on Bar Citizen and stuff, talking about it being not a Drake ship. So, I don't know. I have never said it's a Drake ship for sure, but it still looks, to me, those wings look so Corsairish. I don't know. Okay, before I can put these textures on, I have to do some at least super simple UV layout, and that might just crash this whole thing because there's too many polygons. We'll see if this wrecks it. It's thinking. Oh, that was actually faster than I thought. There we go. Actually, my PC feels very good with this right now. That whole UV thing took like 10-15 seconds. It's not too bad. Maybe I underestimated my PC or overestimated the amount of polygons. But I remember that touching the UVs on the Galaxy was always dangerous. But then again, that was an older PC. This does not seem to work though. Actually, this does not look unwrapped at all. I don't have a NASA computer, no, absolutely not. Not even close. Why does the UVs look so terrible? I mean, oh boy, that's the worst unwrapping I've ever seen. So if you don't know what UVs are, this is basically giving every 3D surface a coordinate on a 2D layout so that I can paint on it. My teacher back in university explained it to us as if you want to paint a model, and it was Christmas and we had these chocolate Santa Clauses, he brought them for us. So these tinfoil wrapped chocolate Santa Clauses. So he said if you want to make your textures for that, you would have to unwrap the foil around, put it flat on the surface, and then you can paint on that and then wrap it back around. That's basically what this process is. And as you can see, this one piece is now separated into like 50 different small pieces. That's not good. That's terrible to paint on. So we have to do that again. Maybe we try to reduce the limit. When I streamed the last time, it was angry with me for attempting to load Minecraft. Minecraft is very resource hungry. Basically Minecraft is one of those games that you can dial to work on every PC, and at the same time you can break every PC with it, because it basically dials to infinity. Summertime I get super good results from these Blender UVs, and now it's just terrible. Maybe I tried the normal unwrap. Yeah, I'm just trying automatic stuff. If people are wondering why I was earlier saying that this is such a terrible thing to do, usually you would have to do it separately for every object and really have to make sure that important pieces get a good chunk of your texture space and that you don't have too many empty areas that are not used. But I'm just trying to do a quick and dirty quick fix. This actually looks a bit better. There we go, now it's one piece. Oh, but it's very distorted. But maybe that's fair. Oh no, that looks terrible too. Thank you, Goldfish Mentality. See you around. I'm going to close this very soon myself, because it's already super late. And we didn't. I want to finish this texture and then maybe we'll call it a day. Okay, but I feel like I have to do this separately. Okay, that's terrible. That's better. Maybe if I have the right value, I can do everything at once still. No, still terrible. Okay, then I would have to do that at some point anyway. We just going to unwrap everyone by itself. Usually that would be a problem, because as you can see now I have, if you don't know what UVs are, if you have one big connected element, that's obviously much better than a million separated ones. But right now these elements, these three here, overlap here. So that means that the same texture is applied to all of them. And that can be a big problem. For me right now it is not, because I'm just going to put some scratched metal texture on. That will be fine if they have the same. But if later I want to have like specific writings or something on one of them, or if I want to bake lighting, that's How to explain that now? You can... This amazing ray traced lighting you see in modern games or in cinematics, you can't do that in real time like here. But you can calculate that light and put it into a texture. That's why even older games sometimes look so incredibly good, even on moderate hardware. But that would then require to have them have different surfaces here, because otherwise the same lighting information would be on all of them. Maybe I'll explain that a bit better once I get to that part. Bye, Lasticot. Thank you for joining me. Okay, now these still look terrible. Oh, because I'm still typing this. Okay, there we go. Now we have a nice texture on that. I want that here. I want that. Cool. Don't have a normal map for that thing, unfortunately. No, not. Okay, that's good enough for now. I have to make prettier textures sometime, but for now that should be sufficient. Okay, I think I call it a day because it's super late. So at least we separated the different elements. That will be helpful later. And I put the logos on. To be honest, that is not the progress I hoped to make in 2.5 hours. But fair enough, we had a lot of chat about this one, which was nice. So I don't have really a date or any schedule planned for this. I'll probably jump on and off the next weeks whenever I find the time for this. To show my progress, I might do some work in between streams. Just as you see, I'm not the fastest when I have to read and talk at the same time. But in my free time, I'm going to put some better materials on the black parts, and then next stream I want to start doing the interior of the... I will start with the cargo bay, because that's most interesting to put ships in and stuff. Try to have that as accurate as possible. Okay, and that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you for your tips on improving the settings for the stream next time. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your interesting questions about the Ironclad. If you have more, drop them, I don't know, under the VOD of this stream later. If you have more Galaxy, as I said, maybe for people who weren't here earlier, I want to do one more Galaxy video for IAE, specifically about revisiting the refinery module and talking about the Golem and the Geo in combination with the Galaxy. I think that might be an interesting combination. So if anything of that raises any questions that you have that I might be able to answer or interestingly explore in that video, please let me know. As best place to be would be under that refinery video of the Galaxy, but I'll find it probably everywhere. And I think that's it. Right. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me. And see you soon. See you in the verse. Bye-bye.